before I talk about Echo, and I know you've been waiting for this for 3 weeks, so I'm going to make you wait just a little bit longer. Calder and Vic and Kretha. So Echo jumps off of the plane. Kretha's
eyes are closed. She does not know anything. Thank you.
The dwarves are attempting to sort of direct you towards a otherwise, unremarkable tent that is going to be the command tent, but anyone knows that you don't want to mark the command tent as something special. So they're trying to sort of guide you and the cart down in that direction, but then Echo is suddenly not there anymore. Kretha's got her eyes closed. What does Calder do?
Calder is enjoying the access to the cold air, so he's mostly just hovering above everyone for now, but when he sees Echo leave the pack, he's going to hover above it.
Above what?
Above Echo.
Okay.
Yeah, just follow.
Okay.
Because
so
the broom can keep pace.
Calder is not on the cart. Calder is on his own separate broom. So he will go off with. You're all splitting the party again. Of course you are. Okay. So, what is Kretha has her eyes closed. What is Vic up to after suddenly Echo's not there anymore?
I believe I said at the end of last game that I was going to put the cart down in an open area for our group to set up tents.
Totally. Okay, fair enough. So we are splitting the party. Yes, we are splitting the party. And I will say that there is a space that is legitimately set out for flying vehicles to land. So nearby the encampment, you are able to make your way down. Kretha, you and Durgadin get to touch sweet, sweet earth once again.
Oh, and I'm helping. I'm getting poor Stinky what's the word? Swaddled.
Right. Unstrapped. Yeah, from the
He
from
was
the thing.
strapped in.
He was probably croaking the entire way.
But we're gonna.
So he was strapped in, but his his throat was going and pushing Vic a little bit every time he would.
But we're not going to delay this any longer. We are going to go ahead and jump back to Echo and Calder. Echo bursts through the flap of the tent with Calder sort of touching down directly behind him, and Echo comes face to face. Well, not face to face, more like face to knee as he looks up at his uncle, who has a massive barbell sort of over his shoulder, looks down and looks absolutely flabbergasted to see you. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this uncle and who he is, and other than very large and bald, what he looks like?
Yeah, he's a half-orc. He, at this point, should be in his late 50s. So for a half-orc who only usually lived to about 80, he's got wrinkles. He's got wrinkles around his face. If he had hair, it would probably be gray. But he's still very cut. His job is being the strongman in their circus act. So he is still bulked up even into his seniority. He has tusks. They're not too big. He's only a half-orc. He's 6'5" His name is Pressert, and he is the uncle that Echo wrote one of the letters to, asking for him to give advice about how to be in a war versus orcs. And another interesting thing, he is part of an offshoot of the Many Arrows tribe. He lives in Neverwinter. He's part of the circus, but he is one of probably 500 at this point in the generations, a direct descendant of Many Arrows, which he has bragged about on multiple occasions to Echo. I don't know if Echo fully believes it or not, but it's one of those stories that gets told over and over again. Yeah, so Echo sees him and leaping hug at him.
Is Echo trying to knock him over? You don't have a lot of mass, but you do have a lot of technique.
Echo is not trying to knock him over, and I don't think Echo could knock him over shy of anything of a nat 20.
It would be an easy strength save on his part, that's true.
Yeah.
So he'll swoop you up and spin you around. What? What?
Squeezes the hug, pulls back. What do you mean what? What the fuck are you doing here?
What am I doing here? I knew you would be here. What are you doing here? I found out that I was coming to entertain the troops, apparently? What? What am I doing here?
You're here. Who's here? Is the whole troop's not here, right?
Many of us. Not all of us, but many of us.
Prostert?
Your family.
The kids are not here, right?
Who knows where they made their way off to? They were not intended to come, but it would not surprise me if they may have stowed away.
Okay. Like he's just hanging. Like I imagine Prostert like is holding him up with one arm.
Jeff, what's Calder up to?
Calder is like at this point, like watching the interaction with.
That's
just
so cute.
pass it with keen interest, but he's just looking at something like it's a foreign, strange alien ritual of what is this enjoying the company of your family.
There is
I don't understand.
There's definitely like two mingling groups here, and there's a great deal of Sunless Citadel goblins that are here, sort of in the same kind of. I don't know, you've all seen circus tropes, like they're exercising and practicing and setting things up and tearing them down.
Yeah.
When I see some little goblins.
Yes, what's up, Jeff?
So, like, and these are the ones that we sent to the circus, or the
yes,
ones
they
that
are.
Were sent okay, good. I'm being very careful. The ones that were sent to the circus, fine, cool. They're supposed to be here. If the ones that were sent to my estate are here, I have very many concerns.
We wouldn't want that.
Someone does it. Someone would not enjoy it.
You said when you saw the hi Blackjack, when you saw the goblins, you had a reaction, yeah?
Like very quickly checking over the crowd of goblins to see if there's any.
To make sure. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I misunderstood that whole interaction. Echo, so he finally puts you down, and you look around and see that, like, your family from the Sunless Citadel has kind of sort of mingled with your circus family from Neverwinter here. And what do you do?
Prostert said most of them were here, so I'm assuming he can't see the entire troop just immediately in this tent, right?
True.
Like this. Okay. He looks up at Prostert and says, "Did you come because of my letter, or is this some sort of something from Neverwinter?"
Let's say a little of both. Yes, I got your letter, and it was about damn time you wrote me, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's only gone like 2 months.
There have been rumors. There have been rumors of what's happening up north. And the movement of the Bouldershoulder clan has not gone unnoticed. And there are many who want to see you and yours safe. Myself predominant among them.
And Echo, like a little quieter, asks him, "Are you here as a member of the Many Arrows tribe, or are you here in defiance of Many Arrows?"
Neither. But I do plan on sending the chief a message at some time, once I understand what's here. But that's not why I'm here. I'm here to entertain. And he picks up the barbell one more time and, like, twirls it in his hand. And also to keep my eyes open.
It is very, very good to see you.
You look well. But he squints at you for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Are those decorative, or were you wounded?
They still hurt a bit, but I think it's a good thing.
Gail,
This
we've got
is-
new people watching. Tell me or tell them what we're talking about.
So Echo has around his eyes scars that have kind of like in D&D there are mystic tattoos where you kind of infuse arcane power into the skin through the ritual of tattooing like precious gems and stuff in there. It's similar to that, but these are scars from powerful magic that he channeled, and they are around his eyes in the loose shape of harps and clovers that he got from performing a resurrection earlier.
She said harps with a P,
Yes.
not
Yep.
hearts. That's actually really important because the
There's a heart on my cheek, but that's
yeah.
not.
That's yes.
No,
Thank you,
but
Jen. That was a very, very good clarification.
Like the
important
instruments.
thing that was done was that Echo brought that my dead bard.
So we said so he said are those decorative, and your response was
I didn't choose to get these, but I think they're a good thing, and they almost don't hurt anymore. Oh, and he like spots Calder at like the entrance of the tent. Is like, Calder, this is Calder.
We'll land the broom and
Calder Creed that I have told you about from the adventures previously. Calder, this is my uncle.
he reaches his hand out.
all good. I hope he'll reach forward and take the handshake after like a moment's hesitation.
His hand is very large, and his grip is not like crushing your hand, but it is made of iron.
Calder has a strength of 8. He's definitely crushing his hand.
Well, I mean, he's being delicate. Like, he's not actually attempting to, but like you can tell that like this guy maybe lifts weights for a living, maybe.
Calder fully folds in half. He's like, I don't even understand.
Oh man, oh wow, I just jumped off the cart. I need to introduce you to oh man, I didn't even put it into the letter, but there's Kretha and Vic, and you've been here. How long have you been here? Have you met the king yet?
He looks a little bit dizzy, and he says, Echo, it's been a long time. It's very, very good to be with you again. Let's head to the command tent, and we can probably figure everything out from there.
Okay.
You're well, though, yes? Like, he looks Echo right in the eyes and says, tell me, you're well, yes?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm okay.
Okay. And he immediately starts smiling again. He casually drops the weight behind his head where it slams into the ground with a resounding thud. And we're going to go ahead and transition back to Vic and Kretha, who have just landed in a clearing that has been spaced out specifically for flying craft. The two dwarven scouts will touch down beside you.
Okay. I'm gonna turn to Kretha and be like, I know you can't tell, but we are on the ground, kind of.
Are
You
you
can open your eyes.
sure? Are you sure? Because everything's still
We're about 3/4
Everything
off the
is
ground.
agony.
I don't like it.
Durgadin
I
in your
think
head.
I'd rather teleport and vomit than this. This is so bad. We are ground.
Yeah.
Okay, so
you can get
Kretha,
up.
you get off the flying cart. You stand on the ground, and while your eyes are open, everything's actually pretty okay. You're like, okay, I'm back on solid ground. It's nice. I got this. There are tents over there. Things are fine. Then you close your eyes and you're in the air again, and you can physically feel yourself swaying in the wind. This is a real thing that happens. Every one of us has felt it. So you're like while your eyes are open and you are directly focused on your surroundings, you feel fine. But the moment your eyes close for more than a blink, you are back in the air.
Need to get your
this is a lot like when you've been on a boat.
On a boat for a
I've
long
never
time.
had that experience before, actually.
Or like even if you've been jumping on a trampoline for like an hour and a half and then you get off, like there's some part of you that's still bouncing.
Your center of gravity hasn't adjusted back yet.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I've
No,
never experienced
Kretha is
that.
like, oh no, he's still moving when I close my eyes. No.
I fully
And she
believe it's a
kind of
phenomenon.
blearily looks at the two dwarven guards and be like,
Oh no, you have drawn a crowd because these dwarves are looking at this cart, and they're like,
of course.
and they're talking to each other, and they're like, but then over there, but like, we've tried this, and it, and like debate is beginning to break out among the dwarves who have come to see you land.
I speak in Dwarvish. I'm like, all right, I guess you're busy. Where we go from here? I think, Stinky, I definitely ride you. My feet not good. And she gets up on her frog and then just kind of lays her head down and then puts her head back up and goes, I don't close my eyes. Don't close my eyes. I closed my eyes. I'm blinking. Ah!
What's Vic up to?
Oh, Vic is going to notice that there's a crowd and then is going to not talk at all. And kind of just stand there awkwardly.
Totally fair. 100% fair. So yes, the two scouts that came down with you, though, they are all business. They actually start shooing away people who are looking like these folks have had a long fucking journey. Get back, show some respect. But also, like, do you see how she stabilized or how they stabilized that? Like, wow. But anyway,
Vic pulls out business cards and starts handing them out.
Oh, I remember. I have these.
Like after she hears the like, wow, it's amazing the way that they stabilize it. She's like, oh, I run a business.
and then Kretha steps forward
and then does that like kind of cover the thing and be like proprietary information.
And then
throw a tarp over it.
Stinky sort of leaps forward, jarringly, with Kretha on his back, and the dwarves in immediate vicinity like half bow, almost like they don't even realize what they're doing. You get close to them, and they're immediately like they step back to give you room. And Durgadin in your head says, yes. They recognize one who deserves respect. Show them, Antaril.
She vomits. Side of the frog.
Twice now this has happened. And she's vomited while dwarves are like, I feel like I should.
While they're bowing, yes.
I'm actively dying. I'm actively dying. I might actually die right here on stream in front of all of you.
Please don't.
Wow. Oh man, that was so good. Okay, so fair enough. But they, the thing is, you vomit, and the two closest dwarves, you hear one of them say to the other in Dwarven, I've had mornings like that too, and you move on. Yes, so for those who are new, I have reskinned Durgadin, the morphing weapon, into also a belt of dwarven kind, which makes Kretha more or less automatically respected among dwarves, among many, many mechanical advantages. So, you're sort of so Vic is the
one to wind up with Durgadin.
Vic is handing out business cards. Kretha is trying to recover from being violently sick, and the two scouts are going to try to sort of bring you toward an, again, otherwise unremarkable tent. It takes a little while. So, is there anything you want to do in the interim before we enter the command tent?
Well, Kretha will try and clean herself up and kind of, Stinky will take his back leg and clean himself up a little bit, wipe it off, and okay, I got drinks a little bit of water from.
I'm sure it's water in that flask. Sure.
Got it. That flask is water. No, it's definitely water. She's not drinking alcohol for quite a long time.
Yeah, that's what they all say.
Yeah, she's probably still slightly like drunk, if not hungover from that wonderful experience. So she kind of stiffens up and kind of cleans up and kind of is moving around. Like, I did not have a costume change like our lovely Gail did, because look at that, that's fantastic. But like kind of shifting around in her like dwarven like winter clothes, and is, you know, kind of getting cold because this is going to be her first experience with winter at all. Because she came from the south.
Yeah, we're in the later third of autumn now, in somewhere that's like southern Alaska.
I am really glad that Stinky is a primal companion and not an actual frog that's a vomit familiar machine. Because as it is, like, frogs freeze in winter, so
he would be a bluff boy.
Before we move on, and yes, I have brought up the map of where we're at right now. I want to say hi to Wiz and Mommy Baker. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate you. So we are at this area a little bit south of what is designated as FF, the Forge of Fury. So you're more or less along the Blackford Road between Mirabar and, where is that? Luskin.
That is way too near a glacier for a southern goblin.
Oh, it's definitely cold. And we are coming into sort of early to mid-autumn, if I recall. So, like, it's cold. It is cold. Holy shit, it's so cold. And
thank you for the bits, Mommy Baker.
Thank you. So that said, the actual camp itself is lit by a bunch of fires. And it's reasonably warm. And so as you make your way towards the command tent, I'm going to say that given the amount of time involved with Vic networking and with Kretha trying desperately to clean herself up, I will say that you get to the command tent first, and inside is sort of with his head over a map and with a few other dwarves is Barnabas. And he looks up and he sees you, and he just melts with relief. And he looks at you and says, "Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Welcome. I'm glad you made it. Where's everyone else?"
All right. I got a little lost. Who just
That
Echo
was okay, fair. No, that
was
Vic and Kretha. But I am going to have Echo and Calder pretty quickly on the heels.
Yeah.
Come on into the scene.
Kretha kind of sturdies herself up kind of in a way that you hadn't seen outside, as she looks at Barnabas and mouths, you can't really hear it, but it mouths, "Oh good, you're not dead." And then she kind of turns around and goes and looks at Vic and goes, "I don't know where the others are. They were. What happened to Echo and Calder?"
just now realizing that Echo.
Yes, just now. Well, she had her eyes closed, so she didn't see you jump.
For the landing, yeah.
Yeah. She had her eyes closed the whole time.
I think that's a perfect time for them to walk through the tent flap and be like, "Oh, yeah."
Oh, Vic has a piece of board right now while they're walking, and she's currently making a sign that's cart rides to gold.
Can make burgers for an extra 2 gold.
So Jeff and Gail, go ahead and jump in whenever you want. It's up to you. So Barnabas will look down at Kretha, and again, there's a deep respect in his eyes, but he's looking both at you and at Durgadin. And he says, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're safe. How did everything go since I saw you last? It's been a while.
It went fine. I heard things went interesting with you. Rita, for a spy, is a terrible liar.
Looks around at the war tent that you're standing in, and he says, yes, we live in interesting times. He looks up at Calder.
Calder he'll just smile, nod.
By the end of today, I'm afraid you're not going to like me very much.
I'm sure you, whatever you do will not impact my opinion of you further, Your Majesty.
Echo.
Mm-hmm.
You sort of take up the rear because you're still catching up with your uncle as you are
does
entering.
He come into the command tent with us?
He will respectfully stand outside as you enter.
All right, I'll say a quick aside to him, just like, probably got to catch up about important official stuff, but I need to introduce Barnabas to you and everyone as soon as he's available. And walks into the tent.
Good luck.
Walks into the tent. So is it just Barnabas in here, or like there are other advisors and like general stuff?
First off, Sven is here. Secondly, yes, there are 2 shield dwarves that are kind of speaking low in Dwarven and moving pieces around on a map. There is also a kobold who is unfamiliar to any of you that is also engaged in conversation in Dwarvish with the dwarves.
At like the other end of the table.
Yeah, they're kind of like, they're talking tactics. Those of you who speak Dwarven, like they're talking about, you know, tactical decisions, and a lot of it's over your head unless you're a military strategist, but you can understand like the words that they're saying.
Make me look up my freaking languages.
Echo will make a beeline for Barnabas and give him a hug. And say, you couldn't wait 18 fucking hours?
He kind of pats you on the back and looks around at his subordinates in the tent and says, it's good to see you too, Echo.
Echo will clue into that and back up out of the hug. So, we're here. Everybody's here. How
Yes.
goes the war?
Yes, well, business first, and then we will speak of the current disposition. I want to start with the good news, and that is that I owe you all a great debt, and I intend to pay that debt now. Without you exploring...
eyes.
The creep earns behind herself, like...
Full $sign eyes.
Without you, the Forge of Fury would not have been discovered until it was already in Orcish hands. Without you, we would not be in the position that we're in.
$sign eyes go away.
Dick wasn't a part
Dick
of that.
wasn't in there.
And I know, and I have been acutely aware, that I owe you, not only for your service, but also for everything you went through down there. So it is my honor to offer you your payment for your time in the Forge of Fury. And he moves, he sort of waves his hand at one of his attendants who leaves the tent for a moment. And they come back in. A couple of like exceptionally burly shield dwarves come in carrying a chest, and they set it down in the center of the tent, and Barnabas gestures to it.
Echo's waiting for Calder to go to it.
Calder will walk up to the chest and with a dramatic gesture will telekinetically open it.
It's a mimic. I'm kidding. So you open you open the chest, and within is a heavy sack the size of probably a little bit bigger than like a brown paper lunch bag, as well as about a dozen each of two different kinds of metals in ingots. So about a dozen ingots each of two clearly different metals. One is shiny and silvery, one is much darker and like more matte. And atop these three is a set of bracers emblazoned with the Bouldershoulder insignia, as all of the ingots are. Your payment, and no less than you are due.
Calder will nod. Turn back to the party. This is acceptable, Your Highness.
I know.
What is it?
That there are those in Mirabar who could work those ingots into something useful for you.
I think we will find utility.
Vic is going to have been like slowly moving towards the ingots.
Yeah.
I have no stealth.
So it's like,
and I'm very big. I'm just gonna like lean over and then take like 2 steps and then like just like it's fine.
So what you are looking at are ingots of adamantine and mithril. Yes.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
And in Vic's estimation, at least enough to make a set of full plate of each.
I want to say that I probably, if I use intelligence as a base stat for Smith's tools to get that, I have a +11, so
yeah, no problem. No roll needed.
I would have been able to identify those just by sight alone. Be like, oh, hey.
I can imagine Vic though going up and like licking them. Just make sure they're real.
Look, I am not that guy from the fucking Christmas story thingy.
Jeff, what's up?
I'm very eager to take advantage of Dwarven Smiths, but there is one smaller, more private matter. If I may borrow Sven for a moment.
He looks at
Echo
Sven.
looks slightly worried.
All of the color drops out of Sven's face. Like, he is ashen. And he looks back at Barnabas like, am I really going to have to? And Barnabas is like, yes, you're really going to have to.
Don't worry, Sven. I promise you will survive the encounter.
Sven will hesitantly step forward.
Fight him.
And Calder's going to put a hand on his shoulder, smile diligently, and say, we'll be right back. I'm going to cast Dimension Door and teleport us away.
I'm going to say, insight-wise, Echo read your intention and chucked you the bag of holding, because there's also some potions in there, too, that we haven't identified.
I'm going to say, now, I'm going to say that this works, because I love it. We will check in to make sure that Dimension Door works on unwilling. I feel like there would be a save, but not now. I am ruling that this works.
He is willing.
No, he was told to go. That counts as willing.
Okay, so they Dimension Door away. Let's follow that. Let's follow that. What happens? Where are you headed?
I'm just teleporting us to like to just an empty space in between the carnival tents.
Okay.
And I'm going to say, if you have offended me, you have offended my fellows, and I am offering you a chance to redeem yourself and earn forgiveness.
All right.
I will hand him a thing of potions and a crystal ball. Please identify these.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. Is there anything else that I can do for you to make this right?
Do it quickly.
Right. Yes. Okay. He takes off in totally the wrong direction. He's definitely going deeper into the circus.
Well, he is a clown.
Sven.
What?
I'll point to the correct direction.
He turns around and he'll take off. His very, very dainty slippers, for some reason, don't work in the mud of a circus tent.
They're getting
all the dirt in like the military encampment was packed down, but out here it's a little more dirty, a little more dusty. Anyway, so
he has prestidigitation. He's fine.
Can I add some background shit right here?
Please do.
Like, as we follow the camera of Sven zipping away, in the background you have the floating cart, and there's a sign, and Lou is sitting there with a bucket and like a roll of tickets on like his tail.
How did you get those tickets so fast?
And taking tickets.
And
must
I just
be
imagine
this tall to ride.
I just imagine there's a few dwarves like the
The same
middle-aged
size.
dads in every parking lot that see a classic car that are just looking at Lou like, yeah, I like the construction there. And
So, Jeff, is Calder gonna walk back to the tent, or are you dimension dooring back?
We're unlikely. We're likely to get a long rest before we do anything, so I will dimension door back because I am extra AF right now.
So you appear back without Sven, and Barnabas kind of looks at you and says,
He's fine.
"You didn't? Okay.
So Kretha,
He's useful to me."
I believe you.
So Kretha
kind of slides. Well, slide isn't quite the right word because stinky is sticky, but gets off of the frog and kind of sidles over to the side of Barnabas, like in a weird away from around like maneuver that's like
very,
here's the
very
chest,
sneaky,
and
but not
she's like-
sneaky.
she's not even necessarily trying to sneak so much as avoid the chest, but get to Barnabas. And she comes up and she goes, she kind of, I don't know if does he notice her at first, or does she have to get his
he'll look
attention?
down when Kretha sort of creeps up.
I must say that that is not my. I was not part of your. I was not part of the. It was your bard friend, and that is. I cannot. I mean, I cannot take that. I cannot take payment
Now,
when I was not there for.
those are two very different statements. As I understand it, you were instrumental to getting these fine folks alive out of the forge. Now, you are right. I did not contract you, and as such, you are under no obligation to accept my payment. I will not take offense, and he looks at you almost stonily for a second, if you refuse my payment. But know that without your aid, the death of the bard might have taken all of their confidence, and they might have died. Now, Sven was not privy to everything that happened in the forge, but he has told me that you were instrumental, and I know what you carry. He was with me for a moment. You deserve this. But if you will not
What
take
am I
it,
going to do with a bunch of? I
then
mean,
tell
you
me
are
where to
dwarf,
send it. If you do not wish it, then tell me where to send it. But everyone could use some money to protect them every now and then.
Clarion deserves his share. He's the one who died for this money.
I sent a separate chest that should be arriving any day now. Yes, Hyacinth, Clarion, Lore, they all have their share as well. That is not a part of this.
Kretha, I hate to break it to you, but you are actually worth this reward.
What are the bracers? Echo points to the bracers on top of all the metal.
It's just
Barnabas looks at Echo directly and says, "They will protect you."
Actually, I'd like to grab the bracers.
Yeah, he'll pick up one and start looking at it, but like there's two, right?
There's two.
I would like to grab the bracers, and I'm gonna spend like a quick minute casting Identify.
Excellent. They are bracers of defense. So long as you are not wearing armor, they give you a +2 to your AC.
Did they take attunement?
She kind of, while that's happening.
I'm going to look it up.
I'm double checking it.
But I'm pretty sure they do not require attunement, no.
Kretha kind of taps.
It does require attunement, yes. It does require attunement.
Again. Kind of goes. Kind of taps.
These are not right, though.
Arm.
These are way too like bronze and frou-frou. These are ironwork like functional bracers. Jen, what's Kretha doing?
Kretha kind of motions for Bouldershoulder to lean down.
Yeah, what are you doing?
No. And does he? Does he lean down?
Yeah.
Okay, so Kretha, in Dwarven, but very quietly, says, "I was told that there are gods after you. And I was very feared for your life, and I didn't do very well, but I didn't realize that you had just, it's not really important, but you must watch yourself, if not for your sake, then for his." And she looks and shifts at Echo and looks really quick back. Like, you guys probably maybe didn't even see it.
No, Echo's still looking at the bracers.
Yeah.
The
Identifying.
The gods do not.
Calder is taking a moment to concentrate and regrowing spells.
The gods do not deign to notice individuals such as you and I. They have much larger aims in mind, however.
That is false. You are a king. You are one of the major things in this situation. You are one of the points of a star. Do you not understand? A star does not work without all the points. You are part of it, and you are at the point.
You and I barely know each other. What am I to you? He looks almost suspicious for a moment, but he's more curious.
I don't know. When gods get involved, it is never good for anyone who is not a god. And I was told this by a creature that, while I would prefer to say only spits lies, that was not a lie. I grew up around lies.
I will take your warning seriously, and I will have everyone at my disposal protecting me.
Yes.
We have gods on our side too.
But you need to watch your own back as well, because gods are shifty, and if these are anything like the ones where I come from, you don't want them bringing their gaze upon you. And the fact that someone said that is happening, that is more terrifying to me than anything that could happen here. And it's not that what you are to me, it's what you are to my family. And then she steps back, like, really quickly.
And Barnabas will
on that.
No, Barnabas will take the cue and immediately straighten up and look at everyone else and say, "That is some of the news I have for you. I'm afraid that the rest is not necessarily so jovial. There are many who have heard of the incoming invasion. and there are many who have offered their aid. There are some who have offered their aid that I have been unable to say no to. He looks up at Calder specifically and says, I'm sorry, friend. Little brother. It's been ages.
Just walk in from like some back tent
Just
room.
immediately, no, through the main flap that you all came through. Calder's brother, Anton Chevalier? No, that's the other one. Cheval enters the room resplendent in plate armor and just shining from head to toe.
Absolutely hates him instantly.
Little brother, it's been far, far too long.
Indeed, Anton. Last I saw you, they had to break you out of your old armor with a can opener. I'm so happy they found a new set for you.
And with that, we're taking our break. It's a little bit early, but it's fine. I think this is the good time to do it. So we're going to go ahead and take a 10-minute break.